Welcome to Bailey Price Media.
Bailey, who actually played the game and knows more football than you will ever forget, know, or understand.
Man, shout out to Bailey Price Media. I am so excited to see what you're going to do with this channel. Everybody like, subscribe, comment, follow Bailey's journey. This is going to be real good. I'm excited for you, brother.
Man, what's going on? Welcome to Bailey Price Media Live here today. Man, we got a great show today. We got 8-year NFL veteran, Washington Huskies alum, Tank Johnson joining the show. Man, he's been on the show before, and I cannot thank him enough for joining. This is going to be a great show today. We're going to talk about Caleb Williams and the Bears and kind of his thoughts on the preseason. We're going to talk about the Bears Week 1 opener against the Titans. I think it's going to be a great matchup. I got my Titans shirt on today for that one. We're going to break down the Bears' schedule. Take's going to give his record prediction. That's going to be exciting. I'll also break that down as well. And then at the end, we're going to talk about the Ravens and Chiefs opener tomorrow. Can't wait to discuss that. And without further ado, let me bring in 8-year NFL veteran, Washington Huskies alum. Man, he's got the new product Backseat. Head on over to Backseat.com and go ahead and find that. Let me bring him to the show. Tank Johnson, welcome to the show, man. Thank you for joining me, man. How you doing, man?
All good, brother. Good to be here with you. Excited to be on.
No doubt, brother. No doubt, man. And let's get right into it, man. Your Chicago Bears, man. Caleb Williams. They played a couple preseason games. They have their Week 1 opener against the Titans here on Sunday. I can't wait to see that. But I just wanted to get your thoughts, your initial thoughts of his performance. We saw some things in his brief preseason time playing. I just wanted to get your thoughts on that so far on Caleb Williams.
Man, I think the Bears are bringing him along slowly, and that could mean a number of things. I love his willingness to make big plays. I love the fact that when things break down, he's an artist. I love the way he sees the field. It's those like normal 1st and 10, 2nd and 8. Just get some yards and get to the next play that I'd like to see more of. That I didn't get to see enough of in the preseason. But hang on, here we go. The season's coming fast.
Yeah, I mean, I think he showed some things that I really liked. His ability to extend plays. Obviously, we saw that USC's doing the running around, Mahomes type plays and stuff like that. But I also saw him sit in the pocket and drop back and make some reads and actually sling a little bit. I was like, damn, Caleb, that's all right. So I'm really excited. I really liked what I saw from him. I mean, he didn't play very much, so it's a preseason, so gotta take it with a grain of salt, obviously. But yeah, man, let's go ahead and get right into it. So the Bears face the Titans in Week 1. This is a huge matchup. Caleb Williams and Will Levis. I cannot wait for this matchup. I think this is going to be, personally, I think it's going to be higher scoring than some might think. I think, the Bears obviously have Caleb, Keenan Allen, DeAndre Swift, revamped offensive line, if you would say. The Titans have Will Levis. They brought in Tony Pollard. They brought in Calvin Ridley to go along with DeAndre Hopkins. They also brought in Tyler Boyd from the Bengals as well at receiver. So they brought in some new weapons. They have Bill Callahan as their offensive line coach. His son and Brian Callahan is the head coach. They're developing the offensive line. So this is a hell of a matchup, man. What are your thoughts on this matchup?
Well, I personally think it's kind of the best case scenario and what you would want out of an opening game. Sometimes the games can become more high profile than they deserve. You've got Baltimore, you got the Chiefs. Anytime you've kind of got teams that really went deep into the postseason and they open the season, there can be a lot riding on the first game. But although the Chiefs are a formidable opponent, I think it's a perfect middle of the pack game for Caleb and the Bears to kind of just, I wouldn't say ease into the season, but I would say face a tough hard-nosed, disciplined opponent. Not like too many crazy storylines. That the game could fly under the radar in terms of like star value. So I think it gives Caleb a chance to kind of get his feet wet as the games ramp up into way bigger and more visible games.
Let me ask you. So the Bears and Titans. I want you to break down the Bears' keys to victory. What do they got to do in order to secure this win against the Titans? And they got Caleb as a rookie quarterback in there. What are the keys to victory?
I think offensively, they've got to have balance, right? Anytime you have a young quarterback, the biggest thing is your running game. That's your best friend. So if they run anywhere from 90 to 120 yards, I think that's going to give the time of possession and the balance enough for him to go out there and make big plays, but not have to be a superhero.
Right.
And defensively, the Bears, they got a brand. The brand is tried and true, like John Deere. The Bears got to stop the run. They've got really good players on the back end of that defense, and they just got to play Bears football. Protect the 20s between the 20-yard lines. Protect that. Make them get big plays, and at least get one turnover to help the young quarterback Caleb get back on the field with a short field.
No doubt. And, we talk about that Bears defense. I think that Bears pass rush is going to be a key factor. I mean, the Titans offensive line is going to be improved. They drafted the kid Latham last year.
Yep.
I think that Bears pass rush is going to be key because Will Levis is coming to sling it. He's got 3 solid wide receivers. He's got Tony Pollard, who can also catch the ball out of the backfield. Him and Tajay Spears, I think, is the other back. What are the keys for the Bears defense to really shut down that Titans offense?
Well, I think it's understanding the matchups, right? Like you said, Levis, he's a dual threat guy. He could run, he can scramble. So they've got to bracket him inside the pocket, not let him get out and extend plays, because that'll kill you. When you lose contain on the edges, that's the fastest way to a big play on offense. So containing the quarterback, communicating with, these guys haven't played together very much. So it's going to be a big key to communicate and understand what we're doing. The defensive coordinator got to keep the game plan simple so the guys can play fast. They know what to expect. When you have to start calling a ton of blitzes, it's exactly what it's called. It's a blitz and it's a gamble. And if it gets picked up and they don't get home, you're leaving huge voids in the field. So the front four got to get home without calling a lot of blitzes, and on the back end, they got to communicate and play in sync.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's talk about this game. How do you? I want to get your prediction, week 1 prediction. I think the game total is around 46. I want to say off the top of my head. But I think this is going to be, to be honest with you, a higher score. I think it'll be a high scoring game, like 31-21 type of deal. I think it could be one of those ones. Depending on how the game goes, depending on if Caleb Williams plays to the way he did in the preseason, if Will Levis can build off what we saw last year. I mean, we saw a lot of him towards the end of the year. He led the Titans down. They upset Miami last year. I thought that was like that's the game where I saw Levis. I'm like, all right, he can do it. His debut was great. He started with 4 touchdowns, but I think it'll be high scoring. I think that if the Bears can shut down the Titans offensively, I don't think the Bears are going to have much of a problem scoring, to be honest with you. What do you think? Your prediction on this game?
Man, I got to say, we're not on the same boat here. I see it a little bit closer to 21-13, and I'm going to, and I think, no matter who wins, having played in the NFL, I understand that to hit the ground running week 1, you really have to have a lot of kind of like carryover from the other season, guys ready to go. Right. With the shortened amount of tackling and cohesiveness in the preseason, that usually gives a little bit of a lull week 1. So I don't see them lighting up the scoreboard. I see it kind of as a sloppy game with a couple of turnovers. But I definitely don't see the scoreboards lighting up like a Vegas jackpot. Not week 1, not just yet.
So who do you think will win? You said 21-13.
Of course, I gotta go with my Chicago Bears. I'm
Yep.
a Chicago native.
Yeah.
To be more specific, Gary, Indiana. If you know that region, then you know what I mean. Listen, man, I've had to watch the Chiefs year in, year out. Even my Bengals, who are my auxiliary team, have some success. I think the Bears are poised to make a big run. They got a generational player in Caleb Williams, and I think it's going to be the beginning of something special. 21-13, Chicago Bears.
See, I said 31-21, but I didn't tell you who I said was winning. I have a Titans shirt on for a reason. This is one of the few games I will bet this week. I am confident in the Titans. I think they'll really surprise some people. I'm a believer in Caleb too. I just think they're in a really tough division. I think Jordan Love and the Packers they're legit. As with the Lions, who just have gotten better since last year, and they fucking won half from being in the Super Bowl. Yeah.
I see you representing the Titans, and you know, if I was over there, I'd pull that shirt over your head like a hockey player and give you a couple shots, my man, because you know you can't come on the show with Big Tank representing the ops. But I give you a pass because you my man, B. You my man.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm just giving my genuine take. I legitimately believe the Titans will be better. I legitimately believe that. I mean, that's who I think will win in week 1, personally. I think it'll be kind of an upset. What rookie quarterback has started? Like, I think the statistics of rookie quarterback starting in week 1 isn't great, I would guess. I think, you know what I'm saying? So that's the other thing I'm kind of looking at. Like, I mean, I think I get Caleb look great in the preseason, but he's got Jeffrey Simmons lining up trying to take his head off. You know what I'm saying?
No question. Listen, but the thing I love about Caleb is like I said before, I love the way he sees the game. I love the way listen, when a defensive lineman void their gap and there ends up with 2 guys in 1 gap and there's that space in the middle, he doesn't hesitate. So if he can understand, get those 8 to 10 yards, get down, protect yourself. When I was on a legendary 2006 NFC Championship Bears team, and all the talent that we had, one of our biggest, if we had any problems, was our aggressiveness. And when you get guys in the same gap, just hungry and thirsty to get to that rookie, man, that's where Caleb Williams shines. He loves to see voids there. He'll pick up cheap yards, is what we call them on defense, is yards that we give to you by a mistake that we make. And I think that's one of his strengths. If there's anything that he does well, he sees the rush, he sees the field, he finds the void, he gets first down. So if he does that, those guys are going to have to kind of ease up and game plan their rush lanes a little bit better.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm with you there. I can't wait to see this. So we got our prediction for this game. Let's parlay this into the full schedule here. So the Bears 24-25 schedule. They start off with the Titans. They go to Houston, Indianapolis, and so on and so forth. Let's go ahead and break these games one by one real quick. So we start off 1-0. They go to Houston. C.J. Stroud in his second year. They get Stephon Diggs, who some people think he's a great addition. Some people think he's a locker room cancer. I'm not going to name who, Coach JB. But I think the Texans are they're legit. Like, I think C.J. Stroud is a generational talent at quarterback. He's unbelievable. So what are your thoughts on that game?
Listen, I too am a big fan of C.J. Stroud and the Texans. I think those guys have a very young unit, very cohesive. I like them beating the Bears in week 2 just based on the camaraderie that they developed last year. They're gonna pick up the game, where they left off. I got a good sense of what they might do this year.
No doubt. Yeah. I'm with you on that. I think that I don't know if they can walk into Houston and do that, especially CJ Stroud. Game 2, who knows what will happen in their opener. I think if, God forbid, if they lose, CJ Stroud is going to be coming to play that second game. So that's 1-1. They go to Indianapolis with I'm going to say Anthony Richardson. I think everything. Here's the thing. Last year he didn't play in the past week 2, so we have to say Anthony Richardson and the Colts. Your thoughts on that?
I got to go with the Bears, not because the Colts beat us in the 2006 Super Bowl, but just because I don't think that the Colts have had enough time to, really gel as a squad. And, I was once a free agent and I was going to go to the Colts. And Jim Irsay told me they don't spend money on defense. So he's still the owner, and I think that's still going to be true. And I take my Bears for a win in that game.
Yeah, well said. I'm with you on that one, brother. So 2-1 headed. So they got the Rams at home, led by McVay, Stafford, Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, Eastern Washington alum, and others. Your thoughts?
I got to go with. Unfortunately, I got to go with the Rams here. Those guys, they've got a system that's tried and true, and it works. Cooper Kupp's coming back this year. He's going to be healthy. He's got something to prove this year, coming off a little bit of a down year off of that knee injury. So I give the edge to the Rams.
No doubt. All right. So that's what is that? 2-2? 2-2. They're at home versus Carolina. Bryce Young. They have a new coach, Dave Canales, former Bucs offensive coordinator, used to be with Seattle and Pete Carroll back in the day. Your thoughts on that game?
Bears. They haven't gotten their stuff together down over there in Carolina. They've got a lot. They've got a lot to do, a lot to prove, and I think that game's going to be kind of a coin flip. But if I had to go my way, I'd go to the home team Bears.
No doubt. So 3-2. At home versus Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence, new wide receiver core down there. What was that? They got Brian Thomas and others. What are your thoughts on that game?
I got to go with the Jags. The Jags, they're down in Duval County. They're starting to like year after year put a good product on the field. I like their quarterback down there, and all those guys got paid. So there's not that there's not that pressing to I got to make plays to get a contract. So I'm going with Trevor Lawrence and the Jags.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm with you on that. I don't know how. I think they have a tough division as well, but I think they'll beat the Bears. They're a good team. All right, so that puts them at 3-3. They have a bye, then they go to Washington. Washington Commanders led by Jaden Daniels. They have new head coach Dan Quinn. Bunch of new weapons over there. What are your thoughts on that game? It's a huge rookie-to-rookie matchup.
I think this is where you're going to start to see who the Bears are right around that 7th, 8th week of the season. That's when you are what you are. The first quarter of the season's out of the way. I think this is going to be a shootout, but I got to go with the hometown team, Chicago Bears. I think this sets them up perfectly coming off a bye.
Man, I think that game's gonna be tough for them. I think the Commanders and Jaden Daniels, that kid is legit. I would bet on Jaden Daniels from Rookie of the Year. Like, I think that's how good of a player he is. He's legit. But here's the problem with the Commanders: they struggle defensively. So I think in that game it's going to be high scoring, with the rookie quarterbacks, and we'll see how it goes. But you give them the win there. So we'll take them to 4-3 at Arizona versus Kyler Murray. The head coach is Jonathan Gannon. You got James Conner and others. What are your thoughts on that?
Got to go with the Bears. The Cardinals have Kyler Murray coming off an injury.
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to press this year just because he's got shiny new receivers. Toys to throw to, if you will.
Yeah.
I just see them pressing too much. I don't think they've done enough in the trenches and all that and on defense. I give that to the Bears.
Yeah, that's fair. Put them at 5-3, headed at home versus New England. I'm going to say Drake May or Brissett. I'm not sure. I'm not sure who they're going to be at by that point in the season. Who knows? That's an interesting team led by Jerome Mayo now. What are your thoughts on that game?
No Brady, no Belichick, no win. I give it to my Bears. They are a shell of what they used to be, and you can only ride the lure of the Patriots for so long. Those rooms, locker rooms, coaching offices are changed over to a new generation, and they're gonna have to prove it to me.
All right, 6-3. Oh, this is getting interesting, Tank. At home versus Green Bay. Now, this is a huge game.
Yeah, this is where I see us, having our trouble. Green Bay just paid their quarterback a boatload of money. He came on very strong last year. I think we're going to struggle with Green Bay. I'm going to give the game to Green Bay, because I think they're going to win, as much as it hurts me to say that.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think Green Bay's legit. They could go win 11, 12 games this year if they play the cards right. Now this next one's this is a tough 3-game stretch for them, all division opponents. This next one, so I put them at 6-4, headed at home versus Minnesota, led by Sam Darnold. Your thoughts?
I give that to the Bears. I think if there's any team in the NFC North that is beatable like the Bears, it's definitely got to be Minnesota without their star rookie out there. So Darnold has not been successful in the years. He's got experience, but that can only take you so far.
Yeah, they're kind of a prove it with me. I like Darnold, but he's, again, been 4 different teams, 4 different OCs. I mean, this is his new team. This is the best situation he'll ever be in my opinion. So, he's got the best receiver. Justin Jefferson, one of the best receivers in the NFL. Hawkinson hopefully comes back at some point off PUP. So we'll see. So you give that to the Bears. I'll put them at 7-4, headed to Detroit to Ford Field. The Lions kind of just reloaded off of last year, their NFC Championship appearance, and now the new season. What are your thoughts?
Man, Detroit's a tough opponent. I give this game to the Lions. Playing Detroit in Detroit, it's always tough for the Bears and for anybody. But listen, man, those guys, they got a good brand of ball going there, and I think they give us trouble. I think the Lions win.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm with you. Now they're a hell of a team. And so I'll put them at 7-5. And this is another tough matchup. Headed to San Fran to play Brock Purdy, McCaffrey, and the Niners. Your thoughts?
I got to go with the Niners. Obviously, they've got playmakers all over the field. Just re-signing Ayuk, McCaffrey, Brock Purdy, kid from out here in Phoenix. Those guys, they got their stuff going. Trent's back in camp now. Yep. I feel bad for any DN who's got to play against that guy down in and down out, but I give that to the 49ers.
Yeah, so I put them at 7-6. I'm with you on that 49ers. Headed to Minnesota now. Sam Darnold on the road. This is an interesting. Their last 7 or 8 games are tough, man. Headed to Minnesota. What are your thoughts?
Minnesota's a loud stadium, tough place to play for a young rookie quarterback. I think they split with Minnesota. They win at home and lose on the road. I'll take the Vikings this game.
So 7-7, and now at home versus Detroit.
Detroit, when they get out of their home field advantage, I think that's where they're a little bit vulnerable. I still believe they've got a great coach. I think they've got a great pedigree. But I think this is one of the games that Detroit drops. So I think the Bears win this one at home.
Didn't Detroit? I don't know if they lost to the Bears, but I remember that being really close last year when Detroit went to Chicago and played. So that'll be interesting. So who do you got? Chicago or Detroit in that one? Sorry,
I got Chicago winning with Detroit on the road.
So 8-7. Okay, all right, here we go. Now at home versus the Seahawks. New head coach Mike Macdonald. They got Geno Smith, DK Metcalf, Lockett. Pieced together offensive line. I wouldn't say it's the best, but what are your thoughts on that game?
I think this game is winnable, and I think it's one that sets up for them very well. But I think the Seahawks just might clip them on the road, just because they don't study the Seahawks very much. So I give this one. I think the Seahawks edge them out.
Yeah, I can't think of the last time Seahawks have played in Chicago. The last game, this probably happened. They probably played there more recently than them. But last time they played, Big Red Bryant was running a touchdown, in Chicago, pick 6. I remember that game like yesterday.
Or when Big Tank, sacked Hasselbeck to advance us into the postseason to go to the NFC Championship. Man, those were good times.
Legendary shit right there. All right, 8-8. And their last game is at Green Bay. Oh boy, man, they got a tough back part of that schedule. Man, what are your thoughts on the final game? 8-8.
I think this is the one that the Bears could steal. You know, listen, Green Bay, their home field advantage is horrible weather. It's not the loudest. The field gets chewed up, but that's NFC North quintessential football. I think we steal this one in Lambeau.
Yeah, so 9-8. Wow. That I think for the Bears to win 9 games with Caleb's first year, I think any Bears fan or anybody in that organization would take that right now. Man,
listen, I gotta be real. I gotta listen. I mean, I think there's gonna be there. Listen, it took us 3 years to finally get over the hump, and it's really hard to come in and just dominate this league. So right. I think 9-8's fair.
Yeah, I agree. I think we're gonna find out the first 3 weeks. We'll find out whether that'll come true or not for sure. I think those will be telling for sure. Man, so I can't wait to see that. Let's move on to tomorrow's opener. So tomorrow's opener is between the Ravens and the Chiefs. So the Ravens come in. They got Derrick Henry. I don't know how much that's going to change their offense. I think him coming into that offense is a little odd. It's tough for me to see how they play like they did last year with him. It's going to be interesting. What are your thoughts on this matchup? Just initial thoughts.
My initial thoughts is this is a hungry dog versus a fat dog.
Yeah.
I think the Chiefs, if any year they could have a lull in the beginning, it's this year. I mean, Travis Kelce tends to, he's obviously going to command a double team, but he tends to get better as the season progresses. They got a couple of new components in there, and Baltimore's been chomping at the bit for years. I think this is the year they might get over the hump.
Yeah, no doubt. And the Chiefs, they brought in the new kid, Worthy. They brought in Hollywood Brown, who's unfortunately not playing in this game. They got Rashee Rice, who had the incident off the field, but is playing tomorrow, I believe. I think this will be a hell of a matchup. My gut tells me that it's not going to be that high scoring. I could see this be like the Chiefs played on opening night last year, I believe, against the Lions. Again, low scoring. I think it was like 21-7 or something. And I think, and you can call me crazy, but Coach JB's been preaching this for a long time. The not playing in the preseason, the way that's formatted, and how it translates to early week 1 play. You see those, kind of sloppy play in the early weeks. What are your thoughts on that?
Takes a while, man. Tackling is one thing, but team tackling is a whole nother animal. Mm-hmm. When you've got a guy running with outside leverage and you're coming inside, in the beginning of the season, you haven't really had those full speed tackles. So guys tend to whiff, messing up the pursuit angles. And it takes a while, a couple of times for the D coordinator to get those guys in the meeting, chew their ass a little bit and tell them, hey, we got to tackle as a team. So I agree with Coach JB on that. No hitting in the preseason, no two-a-days. Leather takes a while to form. So I agree.
Yeah, no doubt. All good. I'm spot. I'm dead with you on that. That's kind of why I think this week 1 could be funky. We can see a lot of games we expect high scoring to go low. I think we're gonna see a lot of different shit as we see these games play out in week 1. This game specifically, man, this is tough. I think the Ravens have something to prove. I think the Chiefs have they're coming off 2 Super Bowls. This is a tough year for them. I think despite losing a lot, they've reloaded their receiving core, which is what Mahomes needed. I think we saw that last year. It's a struggling receiving core. Oh, man. If I had to predict this, I'd say it goes under, and I would take the Ravens. I think the Ravens will come out with that chip on their shoulder from the way they went out last year in that AFC Championship, getting shut out in the second half. I think they'll take that and say, you know what, we got something to prove. Brought in a ginormous running back that we're going to give a lot of carries to and help take the pressure off Lamar so he doesn't have to do everything, and then he's able to do the things that he's good at. Those are my thoughts on the game. What do you think?
I mean, listen, all I've seen come out of their preseason is a behind-the-back pass and the thought that Taylor Swift is drawing up plays. And those two things concern me, okay? You can get away with a behind-the-back pass in the preseason. No one's expecting it. And if Taylor Swift is really going to get the opportunity to draw up some plays, I can just say one thing. The ball's going to Travis Kelce. So I would quadruple team her boyfriend, and you got a good chance to get a sack or a pick.
What the fuck? I can't believe this is football.
What are we doing?
Oh, it's Taylor. Like, what the fuck? JB brought up a topic today that I'm like, do you really want to talk about this? And he's like, yeah. And it was Taylor Swift and Kelsey's relationship was reportedly fabricated or something on, like, there's the rumor going around. I'm like, oh my gosh, are we fucking talking about this shit? Unbelievable.
It's unreal.
Yeah, man, shoot. But hey, great show, 30-minute show. I can't thank you enough for joining on this first show for the season on Bailey Price Media Live. It was great. You know, we got the new intro video going. You know, I thought that was great. You know, Tank, I can't thank you enough for the kind words previously. What are your final thoughts as we close out here?
Man, I'm excited for your show. Fans, I'm here all year giving you hot takes, NFL, pop culture. Me and Bailey, it's going to be a show.
Yeah, tune in every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Eastern. Tank, we're talking NFL. We may talk a little college, a little Washington Huskies football, maybe. We'll see. But, man, Tank, thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. And, you know, we'll see you guys back on Friday. Friday, we have Coach JB joining the show for college football preview show. I can't wait to talk that. He's going to be ready to talk that talk, man. So I can't wait, man. See you guys soon, and thank you for watching. Peace.
Peace.